It's 2:30, and on our forum you can see that the webinar about actions, measures and upgrades will start now. So my name is Hansjo Giemstra and I'm a trainer at Tygron. I'm happy to help you today, giving you more information in this webinar about the actions, the function values, upgrades and measures. I would say everything you need to know about how you can influence your 3D world in a session. And for you as an editor, you need to know how to set these action options so a player can edit the 3D world in a session. So I will start explaining now. I start sharing my screen. So I think you can see my 3D world now. I'm in the editor modus, and what I'm going to do is everything that needs to be done to influence the future design. So I will switch to future design now. And here I see the option for measures, actions, and upgrades. And an action, a measure, and an upgrade are all actions you can take in a session that are available in your action menu. Your action menu is the bar you see on the side, the left side of your 3D world. Here you can find multiple options. For example, in the category nature, you find deciduous trees. If I want to draw an area of deciduous trees, I can select a part of the map. Click build and my trees will be built. I say confirm. Everything is calculated now. How much are the costs? What is the influence on my indicators? I say, okay, I want this. You see the trees are built and you have built your trees. This is just a simple example of an action performed during a session. I'm in editor modus now, so I have started a test run. You can see that over here. A test run will say I perform an action and test how my project will act during a session. So I'm in editor modus now and I'm testing my project, so to say. When I'm in an active test run, I'm not able to edit my project anymore. Because if I want to add maybe a landmark measure or a building measure now, it's not possible. It's grayed out. So that's how you can recognize I'm in a test run. So you probably have activated something in your future design. Everything about current situation, things like that, I will not get into it now, but I only focus on the future design part today. If I want to start editing the action menu, for example, I want more options than only deciduous trees in my action menu, or even create a complete new action menu. That's what I will explain to you now. Like I said, I cannot edit anything now because I'm in the test run. So I have to stop the test run. And you see my trees are gone. Everything I built from out my action menu will disappear when you stop the test run. Now my project is back to the starting situation, the original situation. Everything you start building from out your action menu is the planned situation and will appear during my test run. Like I said, I want to show you how to start a new action menu and add new things to my existing action menu. Therefore, I go to the option Actions. And if I click Actions, a whole list will appear in my left panel of all the action menus available in my project. So I see the nature. If I click on it, my nature action menu will start blinking. So I know this is my nature action menu that I'm looking at right now. And I see the deciduous trees are available here. I see more than just my action menus that I see in my panel, in my 3D world, in my action bar. That's because I see also the actions in here of all the other stakeholders that are recognized in this project. So, for example, also education or the company also have, let's say, by land or finance messages as an action menu. I will show it to you. If I switch to education, you see they also have an action menu, but it's a different one. Not all actions that the municipality of Amsterdam in this case has available are also available for education. So in this list on your left panel, you will see all the action menus that are available in the entire project. So to make it more clear, I will check this checkbox, show only my stakeholder, and it will only show the action menus that are available for, in this case, the stakeholder I'm active now, so Municipality of Amsterdam. Let's say I want to add more options to my nature action menu. I have the deciduous trees, but I also want another kind of tree or maybe some parks. So therefore I go to my right panel and go to Actions. And here you have Functions. I go to Functions and here you have categories. For example, parks. Let's say I also want the option to create a city park, maybe a vegetable garden. And also, let me see, I want another nature option, also some bushes, and maybe some reed for the water side. Okay, I will go to the action menu now that is visible in my 3D world, in my left bar. If I click it now, I see that the other options I have checked the checkboxes for on the right panel are also available now in my project. So if I say I'm not going to build the trees here, but the bushes, for example, the same project area I built the trees before, when I say build now, you see the bushes are built, I confirm, and my project is edited from out my action menu. So you can see it has switched to plant, the plant situation. If I switch back to original situation, you see that the bushes are gone. Okay, now you see the grayed out situation, but still you don't see the bushes over here. So if I go back to plant, you see the new bushes that are available. And again, my test run has started, so I cannot edit anymore now. So if I want to add more options to my nature category, I cannot do that. So you can repeat this for all other kinds of categories. For example, your roads, or maybe some leisure activities. Let me see if I can say I want to expand this leisure option. I also want to make something available. Let me close these other ones. You see the leisure category opened up. Let me say I also want tennis courts to be available, maybe a terrace, a theater. Well, you see, you can just check out our functions, and hopefully there's something you want to add to your project. So now I can also add a tennis court, for example, over here if I want to, in this park. Okay. I think you have seen enough about the actions and the action menu, how you set those up. So let me continue to my next topic. Those are the function values. Because now we have entered some actions, and I quickly mentioned that when you plan something, there is a score calculated for your indicators. This is a number you can adjust if you want to. You go to current situation and you go to the option buildings. Here you have the option for function values. If you click that, you get a new panel. And here you have all kinds of different functions that are available in your project. So the deciduous bushes and the terrace and the reeds that I just have added to the action menus are available here. And here you can see all the numbers that are behind these functions in order to make your calculation scores. So, for example, the costs of construction, or maybe the effect on the heat stress, or water storage is also something that can be interesting. So all these numbers are here in order to calculate your score for your indicators, but you can also adjust these numbers. So for example, the construction cost of the deciduous bushes, let's say that's not $200, but it is $150 per square meter. So I've just clicked it, adjusted, and then pressed enter. So now the new cost is has been calculated with when I perform an action. And also, let me say it will do something for my water storage. Let's say it is 0.2 for for my water storage, and that's in cubic meters per square meter. So here you can adjust all these numbers. I will get back to this when I tell you more about the upgrades. Just to give you a good example of how this works, I want to put the indicator in. Let me see, water storage indicator. I'm not getting into how this works now because I'm focusing on the actions. Okay, if I go back now to my nature category, so I switch back to feature design to my actions, and now I see the deciduous bushes. If I plant these again and say build, it will start calculating what it will do for my water storage. And because I adjusted the function value for the water storage from 0 to 0.2, now you see that it will have a positive effect on my water storage indicator. So if I say confirm, and I can open up my indicator screen, and I will see that it has improved my score. So if I go back to the original, no, let me say go back, I switched the test run off. If I go back to the indicator, now you see my score is 0%. 0% of innovative water storage has been placed now. So here you can see what is the target amount of water storage per neighborhood. So this is how you can influence your indicators with your actions. I think it's clear now that you can adjust a lot in order to make sure you have the right actions available for the right stakeholders, because a different stakeholder can of course have a different action. So it would be nice, I would advise you to give all stakeholders the option for messages, demolishing, buy and sell land, and finance. Then they can transfer money to each other, can buy land of one another. Sometimes you have to demolish things before you can build new things, and messages will give them the option to message each other during a session. Of course, you're allowed to talk, but sometimes people prefer to send each other messages. By default, these are available for the other ones as well. So that's what you saw for education. These 4 options are available by default. But yeah, maybe you have deleted them. Then therefore, I wanted to tell you maybe it's good to have them present for all stakeholders. I think I can go to the upgrades now, because sometimes you don't want to demolish something, but you just want to upgrade a new building that's already there. If you go to future design, you also see the option upgrade types. If I click it, I have a list of example upgrades. So for flat roofs, you can, for example, say I want to make it green roofs, or maybe water storage roofs, roof gardens are options to upgrade buildings with. But also for roads, you have like an upgrade to make your road more water friendly, so you can also store water on your roads, or maybe plant some solar panels on your roof. That's available by in your upgrades. So let me say I want to create a new action menu, and I'm going to call it upgrade. So I go back to actions, I select add, and you see a new action menu has appeared. I want to change this name to upgrades. I will keep this image because I want to do something to my roofs, but you can also just pick another image if you want to. There are a lot. And here I can say for who it is available. In this case, I just leave it for the municipality of Amsterdam. I can also say, okay, these are the default ones. I want to move it up so it's more located with my other options, but it is still empty. I have to make sure I have some upgrades available there. So I go back to the Actions tab in my right panel, open up the Upgrade option, and here I can say, okay, let's say a flat roof can build a green roof, or maybe some water storage roofs. I want solar panels available. Yeah, well, maybe, yeah, let's leave it to that. So if I open up my upgrades in my action menu, again in the left menu bar, I see that flat roof, green roofs is selected now, and it will show you which buildings are available to start building green roofs. These ones, the grayed out ones, they are not available. So if I click on them, I select them, they will become red. If I select the ones that are available, they will become green. So that will show you how to upgrade it. If I click upgrade, I say confirm. I see it has a small improvement on my water storage indicator, and I see the buildings are adjusted. And these ones who are not available are not. Again, my test run has started because I performed an action from out my action menu. But when I select this, I also see a lot of buildings who are not who I'm not able to select. Well, maybe I would want to change them. So that's because these buildings are not found suitable for a upgrade. But you can adjust that manually yourself. So let's do that now. I stop this and I stop this test run. Again, my buildings will become go back to the original state, and I go to the upgrade types. Of course, I had this list of the example upgrades, but now I want to create my own upgrades. So I say add, and I see I can start adding a new upgrade type. And I call it green roofs 2.0. Maybe I want to choose a nice picture. I can tell you that you won't see it in the editor itself during a session, so maybe it's fun for you as an editor, but it's not necessary to do it. Here, this one is nice. Okay, so in order to make sure I can select a building and make sure I have a new one to make a pair with, I have to make sure they are available in the project, and also that my new option, so the green roof option, is available as well. I have to start make pairs to say, well, this type of building is how the original situation is, and I want a new version of this type of building for the planned situation. Those are the ones that can be upgraded with the upgrade action. So before, when I performed the upgrade action, you saw that this building was not available to upgrade. That's because this type of building is not available as a pair in that example upgrade. Let me see, this is a pre-war education building, and this is a primary school. This is also the pre-war education building and a warehouse. So let's check for these functions. Preschool, just writing it down now so I cannot forget it when I start looking for them in my function values. Pre-war education just tells you what kind of model the platform has chosen for this function. So warehouse. Okay, let's just do these three types as an example. We're going to create the the current situation and the new situation buildings, so we can make them as a pair in our upgrade. To do that, we go back to the function values. So let's go back to the current situation, buildings, and here you find the function values. By the way, you can find everything about the function values on our wiki as well. And of course also about the actions upgrades. Let me see. We had the preschool, for example. Let me see if I have already the preschool building over here in my list of buildings, and I do not. I do have the warehouses, by the way. So I want to say I add a function. I want to add this preschool. I have my pre-war. I add that one. And I also wanted to add the primary school. Do I say that right? Yes, primary school. Oh, that's the wrong button. Apply. And I saw the warehouses already. So now I have this one, the warehouses, and where's my preschool, primary school. I have these three available now in my function value list. Now I have to start making the future situation buildings as well, because these are the ones from the current situation, how it is in the project now. So I select my primary school and I say duplicate. When I scroll downwards, you see the primary school with a 2 behind it. So that's my new one. So I edit this name, just click on it and it will get available to change the name. And I will call it primary school green roof. Like I said, this is all explained on our wiki as well. But yeah, it can be very handy to see it here, I think. So I called it green roof. Now I can change the roof color if I want to a nice green one. And of course I want to adjust the function values, because my green roof building is much better for water storage, for example. And maybe I also have something with my livability indicator so I want to have it a positive effect on my livability as well. So from -2 I go to +2. And let me do the same thing for my pre-war education. So select it, duplicate it, scroll downwards. Now I see the building is duplicated with the 2 behind it. This is a longer name, so I will cut it off so it will be more useful when I start making pairs, so I can see it easier. Pre-war edu green. Also give it a green roof. This is just visual. The green roof is just for visual. You only make the difference when you adjust this function values. Yeah, so let me say this is also 0.5. Oh, I have to use the comma instead of the point. So yes, and this of course also has a positive effect on my livability, because this is an older building. It's pre-war. I will give it a higher livability effect because I really upgrade it. And I also have the warehouses. I do the same. Select it, duplicate, warehouse, change the name to green roof. I forgot to add the roof here. Let me just do that. So also made it visually a green roof. Well, again. And for the warehouses, it has a very negative score on my livability because it's linked to industry and things like that. So it still is a minus, but not -7 anymore, but -3, so to say. I just pick a number now. So I have created these pairs in my function values. Now I have to make a pair in my upgrades. So I will close the function values again, go back to future design, to the upgrade types, and here I have my green roofs. So now I can make new pairs. So I select in the middle, add pair. And here you see the input function, so what is the building in my current situation, and the resulted function, so what would be the upgraded type of building. So for now, I just select over here. Let's go to education, the pre-war education building, and you already see the pre-war education green roof. So for now, this is of course the current situation. So I choose select. So I select the pre-war education building. I say apply. It has changed now. And over here, I want the green roof education building. Apply. So now it would be available to change this building. I do the same thing for my primary school. Education, primary school, green roof. And I clicked add pair again. Now I have to see my warehouse. Like I said, it's over here. Where is the, here is the original one. And industry, warehouse green roof. You see there's already a warehouse green roof function by default in the platform available, but this is the one I created myself, warehouses green roof. So yeah, this one is the one I gave my own function values to. You can also of course just use what is in the engine and adjust those function values. So now I've created this function, this upgrade type, but it's not available yet as an upgrade in my action menu. I still have these example ones. So I want to add this to my action menu. So therefore I go back to actions, go to upgrades. Now I see these ones that I have checked that are here by default. Go back to the action tab on the right and select upgrades. And here you see the green roofs 2.0 upgrade type that I've just created. And to show you what this is, what the result is, I only select this one now. So if I go to my action menu and you see the green roofs 2.0 that I just created, other buildings are available now. So let me just quickly add a new action menu just to show you the difference. Upgrade, upgrades, and then again select the ones that are here by default. So this is my selection that is available to upgrade. with the upgrade I've just created. And these are the buildings that are available from the default options. So you see there's a big difference. Okay, well, hopefully I have explained how you can create your own upgrades and use them in your project now. No, that's it, I think, about upgrades. So now I can tell you more about measures. So it's still in the category of actions, just normal actions that are available in the platform I've just showed you. Upgrades is also a kind of action you can take, and I've just showed you. And now the measures is also a kind of action you can take, but it's a little different because measures can be, sort of packages of combined actions within one action. For example, you can start a building with a road and some water and a park. If you want to combine that as a planned area, then you can add it as a measure. I see a lot of clients use it for spatial plans where a landscape architect has designed a new plan for a plan area that includes all these types of constructions, and you just want to know what the effect will be on your indicators of the whole entire plan. So before I just showed you the actions are loose actions, so to say, just do something with a building, just do something with a tree. The upgrades is of course about existing buildings and trees, existing roads, sorry. But the measures is like a package, and you can also add other information, let's say a message for a different stakeholder when an action is performed. This is a good example of how measures are used for our protest indicator. This is also built up with some measures. The protest indicator is available in our index. So if you are interested to see an example of a measure and how it can be used, just go to our index and download the protest indicator. Sorry, I had to take a sip. I will now show you a simple measure because you can make it as complex as you want. Of course, that is also available on our wiki. So if you want to know more about measures, just check out our wiki page about the measures, and you can get into a lot of more details. For now, I just go to measures, and then you see that my left panel is still empty. There are no measures available in my project yet. So I say add measure, and now a new measure is available. So I'm going to call it Plan A. You see already some information available. For example, the cost details. How much does it cost to build this? Let me say it is a fixed price. I'm going to add a building, maybe road, some green, so it's quite costly. Say let's 1 million. And then it wants to know if I add some events. Those are, for example, a message when you start building it, or maybe a global that you want to attach to this action. So when this is performed, it will also influence another calculation in your project, maybe a panel or an indicator. I do not get into that now. I'm just going to show you how you add a building, some constructions, so it's also very visible in this world. So just let me clear a part of this area so I can give you a good example. Therefore, I go to my current situation, go to my buildings. And I'm just going to remove this. Oh, polygon. And I also want to remove this, just to make sure I have enough. Well, enough space for now. Remove, just removing these buildings. Maybe block is better in this case. So I do not miss a slight side of this. Okay, maybe also remove this one. So now I have created a new square situation where I can start designing a new measure, my plan A. Okay, so let's say I want to add a building to my plan A. Or let's start with a road, because I want people to be able to reach my my new building. And I want it to be a bicycle path, because I'm at a road already. And from there, you can enter my new building with the bicycle path. Let's make sure it lines out the way I want to. So now I have drawn a bicycle path, and I also want, let me clarify this, to bicycle path. Yes, it has been drawn. Oh well, this is not good. This one has to go. I cannot draw a bicycle path within a building. So, okay. Yeah, this is better. I also want to add some trees. Let me go to change function. Here I select nature, deciduous trees, apply. So now I have changed this building type into the trees. I say draw area, and now I can create this nice green part next to my bicycle path. Oh, deselect this. Again, I want to build some trees in a building. That's not possible. I also want to put some trees over here. Apply. And now I can just add my buildings. So add a building. And I saw there is a lot of educational buildings over there. So I just want to create some coffee bars maybe, or lunchroom, things like that. So I call it lunchrooms. Added construction. Let me see what can be a good one. Beach bar, maybe not. There, terrace. So I make new terraces over here. And I also create some terraces over here. Maybe also create a new one over here. Now you see I also have some red selections. If I say apply, it will only draw the terrace on the parts that are green. So I cannot build a terrace within my bicycle path or my trees. So I say apply. So now I have this plan. It's built up from the lunchrooms, the trees, and the bicycle path. And it's not available yet in one of my categories. So again, I want to create a new category in my action menu bar where I put my plan. I go to actions again. I say add, and I call this leisure. Oh no, we had already a leisure one. Just call it lunchrooms. What would be a nice picture? This one, because it was green, but you have to pay for your drinks. Okay, it's still empty, of course. If I check it in my menu, I see it's still empty. So I have to add my measure. I go to actions again in my right panel, and now I select the measures. And here you see my plan A is available. So I can select my plan A now. If I say apply, it will start building my trees, my terraces, and my bicycle path. I did not enter new function values for these types of buildings in my function values. So it does not do anything for my water storage in this case, but I still want to confirm it. And you see now my plan has been built. So now I have performed this action manually. I just built a plan from scratch, so to say. But you can also enter a measure as a plan that is designed by your spatial architect, what I talked about before. You can import it, and then just the plan is already there. So again, I stop my test run. I do not have a example plan available now, unfortunately, but I can show you over here. You have the import geodata. So if you go to this one and go through this wizard, you have the option to, for example, import a GeoJSON file. Well, I cannot select the file now, of course. But here you see assign functions. So you can say, okay, I have bicycle paths, I have trees, I do have lounge rooms, I do have some buildings, things like that. And then just select the functions in your plan, and then it will be built up just like my plan A that I just draw as an example from the designed plan you have created by your architect. So I think this is everything I wanted to tell you about the different kind of actions you can implement in your action bar. Of course, there's a lot more to say, but for now, I would leave it to this. If you have any questions, please post it on our forum. I would be happy to help you over there. And then maybe if there are more questions on the same topic, or maybe people want to get more into depth of a specific part of this webinar, we can plan a new one and get into that. Okay, for now I will leave it to this, and hopefully speak to you soon.